Hey friends, remember those columns we drew last time? They don't just stand there alone, something sits on top. Today, we're going to learn about the entablature. That's a big word for the three-part piece above the columns. It holds everything together, kind of like a sandwich. Grab your pencil, and let's get ready to draw. Alright, first things first, we need to draw a column for this entablature to stand on. So we'll start by drawing two lines vertically just like this, connect the top, and then a thin rectangle on top of that. Great. And then next, we're going to draw just this curved line on each side. And guess what? You got it, connect those with a straight line. Good job. And then one more thin rectangle. And that's going to be the column that our entablature sits on. But guess what? It's made of three parts, just like an ice cream sandwich. We're going to draw the first bottom layer of our sandwich, right? Just like an ice cream sandwich. And this is just going to be a rectangle. On top of that, we'll draw just another rectangle, just shift it over just a little bit. So you can see that it extends over on top of that other rectangle. And then we're going to do the same thing. So now this is the third rectangle that's shifted over just a little bit. You can see it's kind of like a cliff that overhangs. And now we're going to draw this little squiggly shape. Here's a practice. And that squiggly shape is going to go just a little bit smaller right there on top of that third rectangle. Okay, we'll draw a thin rectangle on top of that, and it's going to extend over. Great. This is our architrave. Now it's time for the frieze. This is the middle portion of our entablature, kind of like the middle of the ice cream sandwich, which is also frozen, but this frieze means something different. And now we're going to draw one straight line, and then we'll extend a line all the way over to the left. This is called the frieze. Sometimes it's plain, sometimes it's decorated with some pretty cool artwork. I'm keeping mine simple, but you can add patterns later if you want. Okay, now the last part. The top layer is the cornice, like the roof for the whole entablature, or the top piece of the bread in our ice cream sandwich. On top of that, we're going to draw another thin rectangle that just extends over a little bit more. And then this practice shape here, just a simple curve, we're going to draw that, and it's going to extend on top of that thin rectangle, just like that. We'll draw a straight line that extends to the left. Woo! This sandwich is looking good. Next, we're going to draw another thin rectangle that extends just a little bit over. And now we're going to draw our first bigger rectangle that we haven't drawn in a long time. We've been drawing thin ones. So now this one's going to be a little thicker, and it's going to extend over. We're going to draw parallel lines, each next to each other, that make these marks. This is called the dental molding, just like your teeth. Dash, 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 just like that. Good job. Okay, now we're going to draw another large rectangle and extend it over, just like that, and draw a straight line to the left. And this time, we're going to draw an S shape again, as a practice, and then we're going to draw that little S shape right there. We'll draw one vertical line straight down, good job, and then one large line to the left. And that is the top of our entablature. Good job! Now we have it. Architrave at the bottom, frieze in the middle, and cornice on top. Say it with me. Architrave, frieze, cornice. Nailed it. Want to try something cool? Draw a picture in your frieze. Architects in ancient times created symbols that united the community, and they showed big parades on these buildings to say, "We love our city, and we're all in this together." Wow, you did it! You just drew an entablature, one of the most important parts of classical buildings. Now it's your turn to be the architect. Draw your own building with an architrave, frieze, and cornice, and columns beneath it to support the entablature, and decorate the frieze that represents great people from your own community. Thanks for drawing with me, and I'll see you next time for another big idea in architecture. Keep building your dreams.